Jacinda Ardern and Winston Peters made their political marriage official this afternoon. They signed the Labour New Zealand First coalition deal, and the first people invited to the party were from the regions. Peters has secured a $1 billion a year regional development fund, and that will help pay for projects in the provinces such as the railway from Auckland to Whangarei. Peters will also take the roles of Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs. There's good news for anyone on the minimum wage. It will rise from $15.75 to $16.50 in the first 100 days of the new government and will reach $20 in 2020. MPs will make a conscience vote on whether there should be a national referendum on euthanasia. And the New Zealand Forestry Service is back. 100 million trees will be planted every year as part of a billion trees planting program. Now, that's a big ask. By our calculations, that's more than 250,000 trees a day if the planters work 365 days of the year. Political editor Patrick Gow has more.
New Zealand's new government, Jacinda Ardern and Winston Peters, Labour and New Zealand First, a coalition of the willing, leading a union of change supported by the Greens.
The majority of New Zealanders voted for change in this election.
The New Zealand First leader, the first to refer to the Labour leader by her new title, Prime Minister.
Well, as the Prime Minister said.
And Winston's big win is clear, the regions.
There has been a period of neglect in the last 9 years for our regions.
The biggest concession to New Zealand First is a $1 billion a year fund to develop the regions, as well as plans to relocate government functions to the regions, a significant investment in regional rail and a feasibility study into moving Auckland Port. Serious consideration must be given to Northport. Winston Peters will start that with a rail line from Auckland to Whangarei.
When the head of Mainfreight says it's a no-brainer, that it may just be a no-brainer.
Workers on the minimum wage are winners too, to $20 an hour.
And we absolutely agree. We are a low-wage economy. New Zealanders deserve to have a wage that they can live on.
As for foreign investment and immigration, there's agreement to ensure that work visas reflect genuine skills shortages and cut down on low-quality international education courses, and plans to set up a register of foreign-owned land and housing, as well as to strengthen the Overseas Investment Act.
Our goal and our commitment is to ban foreign buyers from buying in the existing housing market.
And Winston Peters taking revenge on Axe David Seymour, aiming to take the euthanasia bill out of the hands of MPs and let the public decide.
What we've asked for is have a referendum option as an SOP to ask the public of this country.
As for an insurance policy, well, there is a waka jumping bill that will stop any New Zealand First MPs from jumping ship to help National. And yes, Winston Peters will be New Zealand's Minister of Foreign Affairs.
I appreciate the opportunity to have showcased Mr Peters' extensive knowledge and expertise in the foreign affairs realm, not that I'm hinting at anything. But look, we'll wrap that.
The deal is done. Now the governing begins and the changes start coming.